B'makelot Baruchu Elokim, taken from Tehillim, as one community, we bless God. The idea being that when we are together and when we impact the community, the glory of God is made greater. That is a theme of our dinner for this year because we are honoring individuals who have impacted the community.
Hi, we're Russie and
Jeffrey
Berger. We have two beautiful daughters, Ella and Orly Berger. Ella is in 5th grade, Orly is in 1st grade, and they were lucky enough to have both More Debbie and Mrs. Bricks, as well as many, many other amazing teachers.
We are Michelle and Gerald Cohen. We have 3 children. Sophie started at the day school 10 years ago in kindergarten. She is now in 9th grade at Frisch. Our son Ethan is in 6th grade, and our son Zachary was at the day school for many years and is now at Whitmer.
Hi, I'm Alex Kahn.
And I'm David Kahn.
And we have 3 children who have passed through WDS. One who graduated and is now in high school at Frisch in 9th grade. And one of our children is in 8th grade, soon to be graduating. And our daughter is in 4th grade.
I'm Debbie Bricks. I came to Westchester Day School 21 years ago. I've been privileged to teach in the Learning Center. I taught 1st grade for 12 years. Then I moved into the 3rd grade.
Hi, I'm Debbie Epstein. The kids call me More Debbie. I'm teaching currently 4th grade, but I've done kindergarten, 1st, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
The first time we came onto the campus, I remember as a young parent from Riverdale, driving up to the school and seeing the water and feeling like, oh my God, my children could be so privileged to be on this campus and our family could take advantage of all this beauty.
It really struck me after Ella's Siddur play. I remember just so happy and so excited to sort of see her smile with her Siddur and her grandparents, and with the sound in the background, it was really special.
My favorite memories when they did the renovations to Wolfson Hall and we were all teaching in trailers. Everybody was very happy to accommodate the needs of the school. Plus you could walk through every trailer and see what every teacher was teaching. And I used to love to stand outside Yehudit Rosler's room and listen to her sing all the Hebrew songs with the kids. That was my favorite.
My first favorite memory was watching my 1st graders read the fiction books that they had authored and illustrated at our author's tea every year. It was great.
From the parents to the administration to the teachers, and especially to the students who are so engaged in every bit of their learning.
I believe it's the professionalism and the camaraderie and the efforts of the teachers and the entire staff in the school. I believe it's the students who are such enthusiastic learners.
There was never a question once we looked at schools that it was going to be Westchester Day School. And for us, not having this background, a big piece for us was that we felt comfortable. We felt like it was a caring and nurturing environment, not just for her, but for us, and that we would be welcomed and not judged for what we didn't know or what we weren't doing at the time. And that has borne out. I'm proud to say that my children know a lot more and can speak Hebrew and read Hebrew way better than either one of us could or ever could have imagined that they would.
We were living in the city, and I came with our oldest daughter, Ella. She was 5 years old. We came to an open house. Everyone was so nice, the teachers and the administrators and all the kids. My daughter had a ball, and I remember coming home and telling Russie, saying we were unsure where we were going to move, but I said, we need to move to a place that is near this school because it just blew me away.
Everyone in this school will know your children, and your children will never get lost. And to this day, it is 100% true. And we're so blessed and grateful every day.
The teachers know my kids. They know them in school. They know them through the streets of White Plains. They know them when they bump into them in New Rochelle. There are just so many checks and balances, and the experience is so intimate. this is more than just an educational institution. This is a place where families go.
So other than Chef Chris's wonderful cookies, I think what makes WDS so very special is we have 3 very different children that have gone through the school. And all 3 of them have different strengths, different weaknesses. They have different challenges, and the school so beautifully and almost effortlessly meets each child where they are.
The challenges that some kids have, the school doesn't just support them, but really applauds them when they're able to overcome those challenges.
The teachers just go the extra mile, and there's so many different stories around that. It sends a really strong message, I think, to our kids that, that they have teachers that are partners with them in their learning journey. They learn to become, not just good ball players in whatever sport they were playing, but also be mentors.
Michelle and I both went to public school, and now we have our children in Jewish day school, and they're up there with their book, and they're happy and they're proud to be Jewish. And for us, that is so important. And we just feel so blessed that we were able to give that experience, that opportunity, and to pass on these traditions to them.
I think we have really grown together in appreciation for Shabbat dinners, where we talk about the Parsha and we daven together.
Russi learned how to bake challah at one of the WDS events, and ever since, we have fresh challah every Shabbos that is homemade. That just makes our Shabbos table so much more special.
I learn something from my students every day in the classroom. I'm not only teaching them, I'm learning from them. And that's made me a better mother. I've learned how to relate better to my children, to express ideas and explain ideas to my children, to communicate to my own children, and to listen to my own children because of my experiences with my children at the day school.
For my children, they always give each other the look when I call my students my kids. And they go, you have 2 sets of kids. But I love both of those sets of kids, and they understand that.
So I have to say my parents have been the biggest influence, certainly on me, but I think definitely on us as a couple and as parents. And they also were a huge influence and inspiration to us in terms of giving back and getting involved. My dad was the president of their synagogue. My mother was the Women's League president.
I also want to give a little credit to my parents. They sort of laid the base for me at least, growing spiritually. While we weren't, the most observant home, we always very traditional Sephardic family. We always had Shabbat. We always went to shul on Shabbat, and those were the happy moments in my house. And I remember those moments, and I sort of wanted to build a life around those moments.
My parents definitely have been a huge influence on me personally. They were both always involved in community, whether it's school, whether it's shul, and that laid a foundation for me and for us.
My parents are extraordinary, like David's parents, and laid a path for my siblings and I to be involved, to take responsibility, to volunteer with your time and your resources, and to know that nothing is accomplished unless somebody raises their hand and says, I'll do this.
My parents are both Holocaust survivors, and I felt that when I grew up, they really imparted to me the importance of being proud who you are, of being, proud of your religion, proud of your people. And it's been something that I've tried to sort of show to my kids, or just how wonderful, how beautiful, how amazing our religion is.
I think what we both feel influenced by both sets of our families is the concept of putting others first. And that's what we love about Westchester Day School, where so many people put family, community, others first.
The biggest influence in my life was my parents. They escaped Hitler because they were recruited as physicians for the Jewish settlement in the Dominican Republic. And they always felt that they were saved by their education. So they always emphasized to me and to my children that education is the key to life.
I think the biggest influence in my life was my husband. He had a vast knowledge of Torah, and he imparted this knowledge to everyone around him, especially to us at the Shabbat table. And he also had tremendous knowledge of Israel, the land, its history, and he always spoke about that with his family, with all of us, and the pride of being Jewish.
Westchester Day School has given us the opportunity to be a part of the community and to volunteer and to give back, because our children see how important it is to get involved with the community and in school. And they're proud, and hopefully they will want to do that, just like we saw our parents involved.
I grew up as a first-generation American. My parents came to this country when I was 2 years old, and we were surrounded by my dad's large extended family and our small Moroccan shul in Los Angeles. And everybody spoke French, and we had this very small insular community. And I always thought growing up, because I didn't really live outside of that world, that was just special or unique to being a first-generation American from another country. And then we moved to New Rochelle, and we joined this amazing Westchester Day School community. And I actually see that it wasn't particular to being a first-generation American. I was shocked to see Jews from everywhere, from all over, and these communities are like family, just like we were when I was growing up.
I grew up in Albany, and it was largely a community of Holocaust survivors. So I learned quickly that extending yourself to other people forms a community, even if you don't come from the same backgrounds. And Mr. Slater and I always teach the kids that they are a community of learners.
It's hard not to also talk a little bit about the COVID days. We saw community in so many ways. You know, there's no question that our community is so strong when we're physically together, but we all felt so connected. There are so many examples of this. When our kindergartner was quarantined for like the 4th time, the PTA never stopped showing up. The teachers never stopped showing up. Teachers were quarantined. Teachers' kids were quarantined. And every day there was tefillah on the dot at 9 o'clock in the morning. There was the pre-Shabbat party with Amy every Friday that we all just fell into rhythm with.
So I've been very privileged to be part of the medical community and the medical committee at Westchester Day School. And I've been on a lot of phone calls. It was really amazing for me to see sort of behind the scenes, to really understand, you know, everything what the educators and administrators go through.
It's been truly a privilege teaching in the school. I just felt so at home here, and it was just so special in so many ways to be present with so many fabulous parents, the PTA, so many people who cared, so many people who reached out to me in so many different times of my life during the time that I was at Westchester Day School. It's truly been a phenomenal experience.
So you guys all see how hard your parents work for the school. And I sort of want to know, like, what does that mean to you?
I really like how, like, my mom, whenever she's working with other people, she tries to put herself in their shoes and sees how they see it.
I think that my mom really likes to solve problems, so she really likes going on the Zoom meetings.
We're very proud of our mom, and she's a really good example to us, and we really respect that she's very devoted to the board and to the school, and she puts in a lot of time and effort to help. Even though it causes her a lot of stress and there's some drama happening with the board, she still does it, and she still stays on, and she doesn't leave because she's devoted to helping the school.
I like how my mom, she goes on the Zoom calls and she really likes it, and she never complains about it. But sometimes it's stressful for her. I really like that every time I hear my mom speaking on a work call, I think she feels really happy about it.
Mazel tov to my parents for being honored. Yeah!
Mazel tov!
Mazel tov!
Thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.